Hello there, people of the internet. My name is Oyoo Jagero, and this is Dialogues with Jagero. Now, we have had a lot of stories about abductions in this country, especially starting on, we have had abductions since Moi era, since, Kenyatta era. But in 2024, June, that's when we started really seeing a lot of people disappearing for the first time. And then it went down. We had Raila when he, welcomed His Excellency the President in Nyanza. Wakasema sasa tumeambia serikali wawache mambo ya abductions. And then a month or so ago, we had comrades of Bobi Wine crossing the border. I don't know whether they went through the Busia border or they went through. You went to the Busia border.
We did Busia.
Yeah.
And yes, we went through in the way that we are supposed to go to. To Kapewa visa, 6 months. We were just okay. We thought that we were just visiting a sister country in East Africa.
Okay, and then suddenly they were not being seen at all, and the people like Felix Wambua here in Kenya were not able to reach their comrades in Uganda, Kampala, and they're wondering what has happened. Now, I want to start by reading a letter that the people that were abducted in Uganda actually think that is the reason why they were abducted. So, Nicholas Oyoo Sindio? Oyoo Chieng. Why do I keep thinking that you're a Mboya?
I don't know. You will tell us.
So Nicholas Oyoo and the Free Kenya movement wrote a letter to the IEBC dated September the 22nd, 2025.
We wrote on 1st. They replied us on 22nd.
They replied on the 22nd. Do you have the letter that you wrote?
Yeah, but I don't have it here, but I can share that.
Oh, okay.
This is the reply.
So this is the reply. So perhaps before I read it, you can tell me the contents of the letter that you wrote to the IEBC.
So there are three things you are pushing. Number one, that the issue of independent candidates. We have a case in court, Court of Appeal, whereby IBC is a respondent, and we were asking them to at least go and put their what is called no contest.
Okay.
Because what they have, they are using a technicality called stay of execution.
Okay.
So this stay of execution means that the judgment we won in 2022, we won a case in 2022.
Oh, are you able to bring us to speed about the case?
Yeah, the case was petition E160 of 2022. It was about the regulations they brought on independent candidates. And so those regulations were saying that if I have your name, I also have to submit your ID, both sides, copies of both sides. So if you're an MCA, you're running for an MCA seat. You collect 500 signatures, and then you collect IDs of those people. And it must correspond that these are IDs of these people. Now, this is something that they don't do for other people, even for
the ODM candidate, for UDA, and so on and so forth.
Yeah. So now we went to court, and we won the court on issues of privacy, on issues of discrimination, and it was said that those matters they are null and void. So they put a notice of appeal, and they went and got a stay saying that this is going to precipitate a constitutional crisis in that election in 2022. So we agreed with that and said it's okay. But by that time, we had also asked them to have a sitting with us to talk about a supplementary ballot.
Okay.
But they didn't want to hear. So anyway, they did that, and that stopped some of us. I was supposed to run for an MP seat at that time, but I could not now clear myself because that judgment came on the 5th of July, 2022. Remember, we were doing elections on the 8th. The stay they got on the 29th of July, 2022. So it was like this were very close.
The stay was so close, and therefore it means that they were going to you guys were going to elections with the law that they had set.
They had set which we had won in court against. Now, but they had gone to Court of Appeal.
Yeah.
And we were waiting for them to appeal. They've never appealed that case.
They've never appealed. But in your estimation, why is it that ODM, UDA, and the other parties are allowed to just go and vie without why are independent candidates asked to do the same?
You see the problem comes in, You get independent, like now the case that we are going to deal with that at some point,
Yes.
But the issue that we are pushing is that independent candidates are people who can take a position to support the people who elected them.
Okay.
You've seen this 2024 issue when the Gen Zs came out. They said partyless. People don't understand those issues.
Okay.
They talked about leaderless and tribeless, but partyless people don't seem to understand what it meant.
Does it mean independent?
Yes. It meant that we are not going to go and support your parties, which are actually companies, that are forcing the MPs to follow you and not work for us.
Okay.
MPs go to parliament and they forget that they are working for the people. They begin to work for the party leadership.
So ODM, when there is a problem, Raila calls them to Kerara Pond?
You saw it in Nairobi County.
Yes.
I mean, you saw very clearly. Ruto calls his people and Raila calls his people. And these were people who had already said they are going to impeach the governor. And then suddenly, now we cannot impeach again. That is what political parties do in this country.
All right. So then you send them a letter.
We send them a letter.
Okay.
We are asking them to go and put a no contest. The second issue that we are saying that we have a referendum that we wanted them to know that we have. And the third issue was that they need to clear the independent candidates as per the ruling.
Okay.
So now they send us back and you will see the content. And they're telling us, first of all, we are going to follow the law.
Okay.
Quote. The law means that they are supposed to have done an appeal.
Okay. So now this is the letter that because you are putting this table. So the first question that you put to them was the issue of referendum, noticing them that there is a referendum that you guys are
reminding
thinking about.
Them because we had already notified the other IBC. So we are reminding them because they are fresh in the office that go to your files and you will realize there's a referendum we have.
Okay.
That one they didn't even respond to.
Okay. So reference is made to the above captioned matter and your correspondent dated 1st September 2025 whose contents are duly noted. The Commission notes your petition that IEBC, number 1, officially write to the Court of Appeal and enter a no contest plea to the application by the Free Kenya Secretary General Nicholas Oyoo, miscellaneous application, blah, 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 vacation to stay orders within 6 days, or the petitioners shall move to seek legal redress. What does this mean in layman's language?
It means that we are giving them 1 week to decide that they are going to work with us to allow us to move on in the Court of Appeal. But for them now, they waited until 22nd, and then they send us and said, you'll see the reply.
Okay. To organize sub-county, blah, blah, blah. In response to your petition, the Commission wishes to state as follows. The petition for Commission to officially write to the Court of Appeal is declined for want of due court process, being by way of pleadings filed by the parties in with regard in Commission. Further, the provisions of the Elections General Regulation 2012 is the law in force which the Commission is duly bound to implement.
Now, the law in force here is a judgment of the High Court because they have not appealed that matter.
Okay.
So that is a law in force, technically.
Yeah.
So them, they are using something called the stay of execution, which stay of execution says until the case is heard and determined, which now the case does not exist.
Okay. So they did not enter any appeal, but they are talking about a stay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And then the Commission, they say, is also mandated pursuant to Article 88 of the Constitution as read together with Section 40 of the Elections Act to undertake continuous voter education, which it does.
That's when we were telling them to have an engagement with independent candidates to also highlight them on what they are supposed to do. Because independent candidates always appear a few months after the elections. So they usually say that those people don't exist until when the law says 3 months to the election, that's when they appear. So we were telling them that these people are also Kenyans. They are supposed to.
So you are not allowed to even do anything. 3 months.
That is their frame of mind. That is their frame of mind.
But Mr. Oyoo, it's important that I want to, because when you see a body like the IEBC having this kind of aggressiveness towards a particular group of people, then there is some fear that they have against these people. So in your estimation, Amambua could also chip in. What do you think is the reason why the government is ish about independent candidates?
It is because like we said that the partyless issue came up.
Okay.
Before that, it was very hard to explain. But now people know that when you have an independent candidate, a real independent candidate, you will have your mind to work with. You are not going to follow any person.
Okay.
You are going to listen to the people, and then you come and implement what you want. So that is a fear that they have.
Yeah, we want to chime in?
Yeah, for me, I feel that the government have been using the constitution and some institutions that are formed by law, which law is formed in the National Assembly, to disadvantage some groups from participating in the main conversations of our country. And to be an active leader, to participate fully in elections in Kenya, you must have a political party. Look at the procedures and the guidelines of forming a political party or registering a political party with the ORPP. You find that it's like a barrier to the young generation who cannot own their parties.
Okay.
The parties are used as vehicles for state capture.
Okay.
The parties are used to ensure that even on the general election, they can dictate who is going to win. We are pushing for independent candidates to ensure that we have more legal and independent minds in the National Assembly, in the county assemblies, to ensure that they can check, they can really oversight the national government, the county government without bias, since they are only questionable and answerable to the people. For they have their backing from the people, not from the political parties. These are problems that are coming, especially when we have serious and bills that affect our lives. Most recent one was the finance bill. Let me refer to it. Finance bill was passed not for the benefit of Mwananchi, but for the benefit of IMF, benefit of World Bank, and these people have graduated from being people servants to institutional servants.
Okay.
That's why now we are pushing for independent leadership, for it creates space even for the young generation to contest, but they are making it hard. They are disenfranchising the political arena to some age groups, to some, let's say, even gender, women, people with disability. They will not be able to meet some standard. When you look at political parties, they are also main killers of democracy. Within themselves, there is no democracy. Look at how by-elections were done and how the primaries were conducted. Who was nominated by the party? How was the nomination done? What are the cost effectiveness that comes with it? Those are the things that we are trying to look at, and we want to remove all those barriers for the young generation, for the young people, for the marginalized, for the disadvantaged, also to understand that they can take part in elections, they can contest, they can vie for governor, you can vie for MCA, you can vie for Senate, even presidents. So that's why we are eager, we are so devoted and determined to ensure that we create this space. For we are in a struggle. We believe it is a struggle.
Thank you very much. And I think now that we have created the context of the whole conversation, I think the best place is to go back to the cap that you're wearing, because then Mr. Nicholas Oyoo, you are the Secretary General Free Kenya Movement, and the first question that I want to ask you is, what is right or wrong with Kenya at the moment, and what necessitated the creation of Free Kenya Movement?
Yeah, in 2018, we found that VAT bill issue coming up, and we felt that this matter is not something that we are going to engage with by just sitting aside. So we went to Parliament, we pushed that matter. There was a lot of push and pull. It went back to 8% from 16%. But for us, we felt that it had to go, that VAT bill, because VAT was something being pushed from outside this country. That was, we believed. And that is the time that we realized political brokerage through political parties, because we realized that they could not listen to us. They went to Parliament and passed it. So when they passed that, we said, now we are going to go back to the people. But when we go back to the people with a referendum, we also realized that the house called the Parliament and even the county assemblies are actually the weakest link in this country and the weakest link to leadership in this country. So that's why we decided that we are going to make sure that that house is populated by people who directly come from the voters, and they listen to the voters first before listening to someone else. So that is how Free Kenya became, and we felt that we need to free Kenya in the sense of ensuring that that weak link, we can deal with it.
When you say that the question of tax, because you also have a referendum that you are asking from the, probably you could, because I've heard you talk about the VAT, the tax issue, and this necessitated the formation and the creation of Free Kenya movement. But also you have now notified IEBC that you want to actually go to the people. You are currently collecting about 1 million signatures to be handed over to the IEBC to jumpstart the process of the referendum. Tell me a little bit about the tax issue.
The tax issue comes from Article 43. And for us, Article 43 was an article that was supposed to be, the government was supposed to push to ensure issues of affordable housing. Leave this one that has a lot of controversy. We can talk about that.
Yes.
The cows come home. But there is issues of affordable housing, there's issues of healthcare, there's issues of education, there's issues of livelihoods, and things like this. So now when we looked at it, we realized that some of the problems that you face is taxation. Taxation comes and makes your water expensive. Taxation comes and makes food expensive. Taxation comes and makes industry expensive. That is why, in fact, we are saying petrol, kerosene, and diesel, remove all taxes, because that's a primary good that can be used to create the other good, and then you can tax those ones. So that's why we felt that it's a matter that we have to take to the people to agree that there are certain things that the government cannot touch. Sanitary pads,
All right.
things like food, things like unga, things like wheat meal. These are things we are saying that, even rice meal, these are things we are saying that should be available to people. You eat your food and then you can now think and do other things.
All right. So the referendum is actually asking Kenyans that same question. And which Kenyan is going to say no?
It's not,
Which Kenyan is going to say no to that?
it's not only about food, but
Yeah.
we first want to ensure that every Kenyan can afford a decent life.
Okay.
Every Kenyan can afford education, can afford health, not through the SHA, not through the schemes that they are using now to fund the education, but by making sure that basic commodities, whereby health is a basic commodity, education is a basic commodity, should be provided by the government to its people. Secondly, we also looking at the structure of the government. We want to know if when we elect you, go to the National Assembly or County Assembly, you don't represent us. Can we have our own structures back there in the village, in the county, that will now do the oversight to you that we have elected? That's what we are calling people's government. We want to have a fourth tier of the government. We have the executive, we have the judiciary. We also want to have people's government included in the constitution and even be funded. 10% of our national budget should go down there and maybe provide transport for the villagers to go and meet where we have the barazas, where we are doing the public participation, because most of the projects are being imposed on Kenyans, not for making our lives better, not because we want to solve any problem, but because we are taking care of our next election, not because we are thinking of the next generation. The other thing now is on how we manage our budgets, how they are made, how they are planned, from the parliament to the treasury, and the role of the president. How does president now come in? Why do we need to go and maybe beg the president to give us a road? Why do we need president to give us a market? When we have structures that are supposed to serve us, we have the devolution in place. Why are they killing the devolution, which was meant to be a blessing but not a curse to our country? It was meant to devolve development, not to devolve corruption, not to devolve the evils that we are seeing, not to devolve nepotism, not to devolve and all these social evils that we are seeing. Lastly, I want to tell you that we want Kenyans to also realize that there is a conversation that is people-centered, not like the NADCO report, which is about creating offices. So we are bringing another option here, which is now what is going to shape the future of this country. It's not about creating offices. Now that the late His Excellency Honorable Raila is not available, I want to urge Kenyans to forget about NADCO, because Ruto can never be trusted, and no one else can face Ruto in the face like Baba used to do. It is just going to be another game to push us to 2027, rig election, come back again, maybe change the constitution and rule us forever. That is his game. He wants to take us circles so that at the end of the day we are in darkness. At the end of the day we see a Suluhu scene here in Kenya, which we are trying to avoid. That's why we are pushing the NADCO. We are pushing our people-centered referendum, which is also advocating for election reforms, whereby we want, as we go to 2027, we want to embrace electric voting. I don't need to travel to Shago to vote. Or I don't need...
You ndo issue ya server. You tuletea shida sana.
Yeah, that is hapo ndio wanaiba. If I'm a registered voter and you have my details, why is it that I have to travel from here to Kisumu? Why do you have to... Even you saw the turnout on the by-elections. It was very low. People are in their businesses. People are life is so hard. They have to provide for their families. You can even vote at the comfort of your desk. Even here, as you interview us, you can vote.
You so server walisema watangoa hiyo server.
Electronic voting has worked in other countries.
Okay.
Brazil used to have a problem. Disputes every day. Like we do it all the time. We only did not have dispute in 2002. The rest, we have always been in dispute.
Yeah, we have always ended up at the Supreme Court.
So we were the same as Brazil. And Brazil embraced electronic voting. And when they did, there's no more dispute. I think Kenyans have a problem of counting in this country. I doubt the math.
Not Kenyans, but every IBC.
If you decided that 1 + 1 is not equal to 2, I mean, you've decided. So whatever.
I think when a new commission is brought into place, the oath they are given like dampens their ability to count.
What is the oath that they are given?
The oath of office that they take. They tend to forget numbers and concentrate more on theories.
But the oath is to the people, Mr.
It's
Nicholas.
Supposed to be to the people, but this is what is...
And this is the problem, even as you answer that question, the problem that I'm having with Kenya is that we always say that these things are independent. We are saying that the police is independent. We are saying that parliament is independent. And the law is very clear on the independence or the interdependence of these things. But it seems that a Kenyan will not, for example, why should the head of police listen to
you had instructions being given,
yes.
Told that you can do this, don't shoot those. This is the thing. We are even in our referendum talking about that issue. We are going to create a commission of commissions to ensure that those commissions, and police is a commission,
Yes.
IBC is a commission, EACC is a commission, judiciary is a commission. So we are going to create a commission of commissions that is going to receive resources directly, and they are the ones who are going to take care of their issue. So this issue of independence is always something that you write. You just write, like I can write my name. Maybe I was given my name by Wazungu. Maybe it doesn't mean anything in our culture.
And also
I think the problem is with our values as Kenyans, because we even down there in the village, like you go and you have a gathering of 10 people. You are advising them on how things shall be in 2022. They have already seen that you have an interest. After the good advice, the good guidelines you are giving them, leta kitu kidogo. That is where the problem is.
Gonywa uri yukjamna.
Yeah, yukjam.
So, ati utatuacha hivyo? Unatuacha hivyo, mheshimiwa? So, if we sanitize our morality, we are going to get what we want as Kenyans. I believe if our president could respect the constitution, because everything is clear that this body is independent, we would be far much ahead. Because
but also sometimes I don't understand the constitution, because I think the constitution is sometimes giving us all these problems. For example, they are supposed to choose the judges.
Sure.
Why do they have to take them to the president to sign?
Those are the things we are actually going to ask ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, we are going to create something called a people's dialogue. We had some Raila Odinga, the late, may God bless his soul in peace, talking about a conclave.
Yes.
A conclave was supposed to be people selected and go and sit somewhere. As you are saying, let the people talk for themselves. This is like a matatu. If you have a matatu out there, and you hear that your driver and your makanga are doing things and everything, you can just tell them, shukeni kwa gari yangu, tafadhali. Get the point? This country, we must bring back the people to the boardroom. The people must determine how it goes for us to get a country. Otherwise, what you're having, you get the president is everywhere.
Yes, because we are talking about the excesses of the president, but it is the constitution that meanders and meanders and meanders and end up with the president.
Every day that since the swearing in of President Ruto and his brother Gachagua, because I believe they are still working together, they have always been, every day they have been trying to weaken the constitution.
Yeah.
When you look at the Finance Act, you realize that President was anywhere near the Treasury. But now he has made Treasury his pockets. Anaingiza tu mkono anytime, ana pull up 10 million, hii ni ya kanisa. 1 billion, hii ni ya hii kanisa.
Lakini si hiyo waliweka kwa budget.
It's nowhere in the budget. Whatever president is doing is unbudgeted. For that's why we are saying they have always
But
been
surely,
budgeting
Mr.
for this
Wambua,
corruption.
the treasury has always allocated money to State House.
What we are saying here, Bwana Jagero, is this, the people must have the say of everything that happens.
Okay.
We want to call it's going to be called a quantifiable public participation.
Okay.
Because we want to ensure that when you do budgets, it comes back to the people. 70% wakikata hiyo mambo unarudisha huko. The same thing to do with the questions of MDA. MDA is ministries, departments, and agencies.
Okay.
These NTSAs, these NEMAs, they go and do things behind your back there. Unapata tu suddenly barabara imefungwa, sijui nini imefanyika, sijui nini.
Yeah.
You can't do these things without us knowing what you are doing. So that's what you are saying. It go back to the people. The things like if you talk about budgets and all that stuff, so you pass laws, it has to go to the people. So that we now have a situation where if you want to do corruption, you will have to hide it very far. Because it's like we have now put transparency into everything that government does. So ukitaka kufanya kitu, lazima irudi kwa wananchi. And that is what we are saying is going to create something here.
Okay.
Because the kind of corruption we are getting doesn't make sense.
I wanted to respond to you when you say that State House is always allocated some money in the budget. But when you look at the expenditure and the allocations,
I heard the other day that they used
figures,
4 billion in
the figures.
In 2 months.
It's unbelievable that you are spending 3.6 billion on transport in a week internal. Look at how the figures and the timings of the expenditures of the State House. Back in I think last year, when we were doing the campaigns in Africa, when the Enigma was the flag bearer
for the AU chairmanship.
After the laws and coming back, State House had spent unallocated money, which is almost 20 billion. And when you ask them, when did you get money to fund the campaigns in AU, they can't tell you. But they will show you the much spent on tea, mandazi, 20 billion. Even now, we had by-elections the other day. Look at the money that was spent within the last 3 weeks when Kindiki had 50 meetings, 17 tours, rallies, and convoy of TXSs, V8s, goons, security.
You name
Name them.
I like the idea of goons. So
Name them.
goons were also in the payroll of State House.
Look at the money released. The reports released that the almost 18 to 20 billion was spent within. How much money is that? And when you
so they claim that it is State House using it, but it's actually going to other activities.
Going to other activities that are hurting
Kenya
this,
the
democracy in this country.
Yeah.
And that is why we are saying, Jagero, that when they were grabbing us, the by-elections was in their mind. That's why that letter you read when we started. They grabbed us on the 1st of October.
The 1st of October.
They released us on the November of 7th of November. If you look at it, you see the letter we had written. That was answered on the 22nd. We left here on the 26th. In fact, it was sent to our email. So if we did not actually look at our email, we may not even have had the answer. But already we had said we are going back there to visit our friend and what have you, and then we are going to come back and go to court and stop the by-elections.
Oh, I see.
That is the issue here. And you saw how those by-elections.
So let's go back into the I think for DWJ viewers, create for us the context of your travel. So when do you leave the country, and how do you go to Uganda, and what happens when you reach Uganda?
So we live here on. We started slowly. We moved up to Busia by the 26th. We crossed on the 29th. So we were moving slowly, meeting a few people.
Yeah.
So we crossed on the 29th, and when we crossed over, we had our passports, both of us. The passports are East African passport.
Yeah, the one that you download from the website.
No, the blue one. There's a light blue passport.
Oh, the light blue one.
Yeah, so it is written East African passport.
Okay.
So we go through, nothing happens. There's no problem. We realize that Bobby Wine is having his launch somewhere around Jinja. So we are like, okay, this is not very far from where we are. Let's go and see what he's doing.
But what is actually taking you guys to Uganda?
We had business interests. We had also, of course, we also wanted to meet him. On the
Bobby
basis
Wine.
that we have issues with, we are sister organizations.
Yes.
Them, they say people power, our power. As we say, people power, higher power. So this is like a sister. So we want to go and do accountability. We want to hear, what are you promising the people? Why do you think this will work? We think this will not work. You know, that kind of engagement.
To cut him short, we believe in people power. We believe that change in our political space, in our governance, can only be influenced by the use of the people power. For them, those in power, they believe in the power of guns, they believe in the power of intimidation, they believe in the power of money. So for us, we are going back to the masses, na kuambia, all power belongs to you. When you lose your fear, they will lose their power. Go on.
Yeah, so now when we cross over and we go to his launch, and we participate there. In fact, Bob even went to the podium at one point, and we realized that he's a bit busy because of the campaigns. So it's like we are not going to have the meeting we wanted, because we wanted to ask a few things. Like me, I wanted to know, how did you process the youth? Because you have Gen Zs here. How did you process people who don't have money? Because we want to know how to do it also here. How did you process women? And what about persons with disability? So I wanted to ask those questions so that I have that kind of engagement that we can begin to use here. So now, unfortunately, we didn't get that chance. We left that engagement, that convoy, and now we went to do our other business. We are meeting business people and what have you. And then in Kampala, we had left all the way from Jinja to Kampala. We go to a situation where we had a problem with our tire. So we find a petrol station, and funny enough, petrol stations, you find Starbucks are very many. It's called Starbucks. Starbucks
yes.
Are very many in Uganda. So sometimes you just enter a petrol station and you find it's a Starbucks. So we didn't even think anything. As we are very innocent, we don't think there is any problem. I mean, people travel there to go and campaign and all that stuff and what have you, as we are just going to meet him. So we don't see
funny thing is that as I was in the search of Bob and Oyoo, even the interior CS was in Kapchorwa campaigning for Museveni. The same time, we have an influencer by the names of Kasipul. I have his images with President Museveni and other comedians on how to send message to the young people on campaigns. Okay. So it really perturbs when, for you want the support from the sister country, but for your opponents, you see those associating with them as terrorists, as intruders of your peace, people coming to destabilize your country. The same has happened here in Kenya. We have seen Raila launching his campaigns in Kasarani, welcoming Morgan Tsvangirai from Zimbabwe. We have seen him welcoming the Nigerian former president of Nigeria, his good friend. So we just wonder.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
So now we find ourselves in a mess. We go and sleep and want to do it in the morning on the 1st of
You sleep at the petrol station.
There is a place there that we sleep. We slept not very far from the petrol station. We have some rooms there that we took. So in the morning we came on the 1st of October. We came there and we decided to do the tires. So we are organizing ourselves to do the tires, and then suddenly some people came and asked and started asking Bob something. We were expecting tires from our comrades. So I had thought that it was those people who had brought the tires. So when I got there, then that's when they started acting. Now they said, now we are police, and then suddenly, within a few seconds, the drone came. You know, the drone is like the Subaru. The way you have the Subaru here.
Yes.
They have a taxi, a matatu. This 14-seater matatu. That is what they use in Uganda. It's called a drone. Even them, they actually title is as a drone. So
it's for carrying what?
It is a vehicle that the police use the way they use Subarus here.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So when you see it, sometimes you realize suddenly people drop from it. Those guys are armed to the teeth. For me, I've never. So
this is what time in the morning?
This is about 11 there, 10ish 11 there. So we have even done a katogo. We have eaten katogo there. We have had that's a breakfast in Uganda.
Yes, I know.
Very famous.
I've been to Uganda.
So we are just organizing ourselves to try and see if we can organize that vehicle so that we can move back to Kenya and also finish our business.
This is around Ginger. All right, people of the internet, I hope that you're enjoying this episode very much. And I just had a break to tell you about my new book. You know, everybody says that there is no job, and that is true. Also, that was me 10 years ago. The problem is that everybody is trying to get a job in their town, in their city, in their marketplace. They ask friends for jobs, mothers call uncles, uncles call brothers, but there are no jobs. Let me tell you what no one is telling you. Jobs migrated online. What I actually mean is there are many, many jobs around the world, and there is no one to do them except you. I work for Americans myself. I work for Europeans. I work for the Chinese. I work for the Australians. I work for the Canadians. And so, because I have done so much for myself, I said to myself, you know what? I should compile what I've been doing for the last 15 years. So in 2024, I wrote a digital book called Goldmine 18 Hustles for Africans. And then in 2025, AI came. People say AI is taking away our jobs. And for me, I'm going to say false. There are actually AI jobs. Jobs are not being taken by AI, but there are new jobs online that are there because of AI. Now, mimi ni nani? I created more jobs. And for now, in my new book, we have 25 online and offline jobs that you can leverage on if you do not have a job. So in this powerful volume 2, I share 25 new actionable online hustles specifically researched and tailored for Africans. My new book provides clear step-by-step guidance drawing from my extensive experience and research, including the mistakes I've made and lessons I've learned over the 15 years that I have worked online. So, what can you do online? You can become an executive assistant for busy folks in Europe, America, Canada, and get paid for tasks like watching videos and taking online surveys. Okay? You can build a lot of things. Build a business as a virtual assistant, start an e-commerce shop without capital, be an affiliate marketer, or you can also become actually an English tutor and tens of AI jobs. If you have a job, that is fine. But I also know that you can buy this book for that brother, for that sister, for that mother, for that cousin, for that husband who is watching Netflix all day at home. Buy it for your friend who is always asking for cash. You know that friend. Now, all the information is on the description below. You can also inbox me, you can WhatsApp me, or go to my website, which is odworjegero.co.ke.
No, this is now Kampala.
Oh, inside you've already
left Ginger. We've come all the way to Kampala.
Yes.
We are now organizing ourselves to meet a few people on business engagements, and then we have a problem with our vehicle. So we are trying to sort out that problem so that we can finish our meetings and come back to Kenya. And then that's when the drone appears. Now, the question is, you're wondering, why this kind of force? Because these people were dressed to the teeth. The guns they have, very long guns, short guns, everything you can imagine. I've never seen that. In fact, for me, I see that in movies. I've never seen it. And pointed at me was something, wow.
Assault rifles.
I didn't even believe that could be, even I thought maybe there's a problem here. I thought maybe they are confusing something.
And so, okay. And then what do they ask you?
They just grab us and put us in the car.
In the drone?
In the drone. Now, for me, you know, the moment you see that force, and the moment you see the kind of faces they are putting, some of them are actually now even hooded off, so you can't see the face. But a few of them, you can
the commandos.
See, the commandos. So now they put us inside. For me, I thought immediately that if this is what I think it is, then I need to make sure that my phone can be left here. So I'm trying to find a way to confuse them so that I can throw the phone out. But unfortunately, I find that window is very small. So it's accessed from the guy. He was seated in front of me. You see, there is a driver, and then I'm seated. He's seated here, and then I'm seated in the next seat. So now the window, I cannot operate the window. So I'm like, now, unfortunately, that's not going to happen.
You have to go with your phone.
No, they took the phones. But then after some time, they asked me, where is the other phone? I think they thought that I was talking about the phone because I have another one. So they started beating me up there because they're like, you give us that other phone. Give us that other phone. And they tried to look at me and they realized. I told them, I don't have another phone. I don't have another phone. We are talking Swahili, by the way, at that time. Yeah. So I don't have another phone. I don't have another phone. Then they left us. Now we are going. It's very quiet, chilling quiet. Because now we can't say anything. We don't know what is happening.
So it's just the two of you?
The two of us and the group that is hooded and everything. There are like about 7-8 people in the vehicle. You know, it's a 14-seat. It's a 18-seat. in Uganda, they still are 18-seaters.
Yes.
They didn't have Muchuki.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if people remember we used to have 18-seaters. So there are several of them seated strategically in that vehicle. Now they're taking us somewhere. We don't know where they're taking us.
The car is abandoned?
No, our vehicle is abandoned in the petrol station.
Yeah.
Now, this is something that happened. We were taken 3 of us originally. And then one of us called Kofi. Bob said that this vehicle has not been locked. So they asked, nani yako na vifunguo? And Kofi had the keys. So he's the one who now was told, go and do the car, go and lock the car.
Your car?
That car we came with, yes. Now, he's going to lock the car. And as this guy is having a phone, he looks at the phone and looks at me directly. And then looks at the phone again and looks at Bob directly. And then says to this guy, let's go. So that is when we started thinking, this is not just a random thing. There's somebody who
they have left the other guy.
Yeah, I think for them, now looking at it, it looks like they had profiles of people they want.
Yes.
So it was me and Bob. So for them, this other third person was not in there.
But this third person, you came with him from Kenya?
Yeah, we came with him from
Kenya. And he's left over.
Left there. I think God works in miraculous ways because that was the reason people knew very quickly this was an abduction.
Okay.
So because he's the one who now gave the information. But now, having taken us now, they're taking us to a place we don't know. We went all the way to a place called Kasenyi. Kasenyi is a military camp. So we go into Kasenyi and we find ourselves in a place where...
is this on your way to Mbarara or which part of
the way towards you go past Entebbe and then you go in I think 15 minutes after you've seen the signpost.
That is to the mountains.
Yeah, those sides.
Okay.
Then you go inside. So Kasenyi, we get there and we are just removed from the vehicle and we are told now go into that room. It's actually some houses they had constructed. I think they were for the soldiers, but then now they've been converted into cells now.
Okay.
So we found Nigerians inside there. They had come a day earlier, but they had been arrested earlier. They were somewhere else. So they have been transferred there. And me, I find a Nigerian in my room. Bob is taken to a different cube. He also finds a Nigerian there. And then now we start, they put handcuffs, and that is now the starting of our captivity.
But then the question is very interesting. When you start tracing your way back to the border, even past the border into Kenya, there is a trail.
trail.
A trail of somebody monitoring where you are on the Kenyan side.
Yeah, we believe that this was something that was communicated to them because I don't think this is what my experience tells me. After 2 weeks, because they interviewed us twice.
Okay.
First on the second day that we were there, and then I think it was about 2 weeks later. Then after that, they lost interest in us completely. We were just there now.
Because I am thinking, if you leave Kenya through the border, the Kenyan police know that these people have left the country into Uganda.
And legally left.
Yes. They are communicating with Uganda on the other side. How do they know exactly where you are? They are pinging your phones.
That is what I think they were using. You know, once...
Again, they made a mistake,
Who?
I think it's Bob, He was live on TikTok. Even me, I was still following. So these guys are monitoring everywhere on the social media, on Facebook, whatever you are posting. Or now they are in Ginger, they have moved to this place. There was a point they even had a collision with Museveni's convoy. I called them and asked, are you guys safe? Then Oyoo replied, yes, we are safe. Now it was the following day. I think that's where the car was identified, on that convoy.
Oh, I see.
Because they were diverted from the main road to use routes in the bushes.
Oh, okay.
But for us, we believe that this issue, because we said we are going to stop the by-elections, the only thing that happened is that we isolated ourselves going to Uganda. So it was easy for somebody to say, now those people, take them and keep them there.
Oh,
That
I
is
see.
what we believe.
Do you think that it would be too much noise for the government, assuming that it was the work of the government to abduct you guys, and obviously I think Uganda and Kenya have always asked each other favors.
They had the BCJ taken from here.
Yeah. And so the Kenyan government can also ask for favors.
Put those ones there for a while.
Because it's interesting that they figure out, but why is it that they do this the second day and not the evening that you land in Kampala? What do you think is the reason?
I don't know. Maybe for them it was like this the communication that somebody was giving them. Maybe somebody telling them that now these guys have gone there, look for them, something like that. I don't know. I can't tell the intricacies of that.
Of how it went.
In fact, the fact that they left us to leave Ginger and all that process all the way until we come to Kampala.
It sounds like they have not been communicated to this time.
Yeah, it's like somebody told them, we think those guys are there. Can you look for them? I don't know. But for us, we look at it. The dates looked to me like somebody decided we are not going to campaign. This is what it was, Jegero. We are looking at 2027. And we are looking at a president who has stolen elections, for instance. And you go to parliament and you find it is independent candidates there. You know, they're going to impeach you. Immediately you open that parliament, we send you home. So that is what we've been planning to do. Because we are not in your political party. We have our freedom, our independence to decide what we have to do. So these are the things I think they looked at. And we were talking, there's a show that I went to, and I was talking about 8 million people who never voted in 2022. We didn't have a presidential candidate independent in 2022. 8 million Kenyans did not vote. So the issue was, we started by saying that these 8 million are the ones you are going to inspire to come back to vote. And then those people who are going to be registered. And then look at the people who now are disenfranchised by this government. So we were giving a roadmap of saying...
Break down the number for me, because it looks like it is the number that Ruto fears the most.
you have 22 million registered voters.
Okay.
7 million votes.
7.1 million vote for the president. 6.9 vote for Raila Odinga, or rather Azimio. And this is Kenya Kwanza. And then 8 million did not turn up to vote. And they are registered voters.
And why did they not turn up? Because that's the question. They are not interested in both parties.
There is apathy. There is not interested in both parties. And for us now, the question was, how do we inspire them to come back to vote? And I think this is something that they feared, because the Gen Zs came out and showed that they are part of that 8 million. And they said something called partyless. That is independent. In 2022, we had a case in court on independent. Partyless, quote, quote. So I think somebody did 2 + 3 + 4 and then realized, okay.
So this is where this whole thing is coming.
Exactly.
So, for example, if you are going to vie as an independent presidential candidate, they are going to ask you to bring 1 million signatures.
No, it's going to be for 2,000 from 24 counties.
That is
So that's
48,000 signatures.
And you have
the
to have
copies.
the IDs, both sides.
Why do you have the IDs?
We were asked in court and we were told that is discrimination.
And therefore they could actually come out and say
privacy.
that we have realized that actually out of the 48,000, some of the 5,000 IDs that we are having, we have contacted the owners and they say that they did not agree to this.
Exactly.
On that note, do you know that, Jagero, if we had even one independent candidate for presidential, we would have a rerun for that election because not even Ruto, not even Raila, who would have got 50 plus 1. That is the calculation we wanted to ensure that we mix up these people. If we add a third strong candidate, it would be a different story today.
And right now we have, I think, the former Chief Justice is partyless.
Yeah, we think he is, but for us, we are still looking at, first of all, clearing those hurdles that are there by the time we reach 2022, so that those people who are now coming as independent, we will work together with
So you are going to court again to revisit this issue of
we must
do it.
I mean, if I was going to die for this matter, then Jagero, let me just do it.
The question is, we go back to the abduction issue.
Yeah.
What happens every day? So what does a day look like in a military camp in did you say Gisenyi or Kaisenyi?
Kasenyi. Unfortunately, the day is very boring. You wake up in the morning. There is always fear for you because at 4, 3 o'clock, it's a military camp. So they do training there. So there's these gunshots that you hear. They do formations and what have you, and these bombs that they do and as they are training. So those are the things that wake you up. And you're wondering, are they going to now decide to put me in part of those training or what? You don't know. We are also
the way they put bottles on top of
your head and shoot.
So there's also the lake there.
Yeah, okay.
The lake is not very far from us. So they are telling us, some of them used to come to our place and tell us, it's a place that we can. There's no windows. So it's like a house that is a grill.
Is it a house or it's a cell?
It's a house that they've converted into a cell.
So you have the entire house to yourself?
It's actually a room. It's actually a cabin. That is like 10 by 10.
10 by 10. Kama zile za railways.
Yeah, that's like that.
Okay. You have a bed there?
It's not a bed. It's a mat. You're given a mat and a blanket. And my colleague also from Nigeria is given a mat and a blanket.
Okay. Now let's go back to the Nigerian. What does it tell you? Why is he here?
This Nigerian is here because of fraud. Now, that is where you realize this is a problem. How does a military and fraud go together?
Should be taken to a civilian court.
Exactly. So even as we are telling them, okay, if we have a problem we've done, take us to court. If you feel that we are not supposed to be here, deport us, take us back to Kenya. I don't mind having that thing said that persona non grata should not come back to this. I don't care.
Yeah.
But at least do that. But why are you putting me here for 38 days? I tell you, after 2 weeks, the Ugandans lost any form of interest in us. That is when we realized that we are not being put in a fridge for the Ugandans. It was a Kenyan fridge.
It was a Kenyan fridge.
That was a Kenyan fridge.
The food? Are they giving you any food? Are they giving you some?
There
is a famous Ugandan beer. What is it called?
No, those ones you don't see.
Nile. I'm a bello.
In fact, we are only having
Hakuna bell, hakuna.
The recipe is one.
Okay.
It is posho and
beans.
And
Posho
the beans
ugali.
can be cooked in any way. It depends on the mood.
Posho and beans.
Yes.
Even
posho is ugali.
Yeah, I know, but posho and beans is not a Ugandan meal mostly, bwana.
But that is what we got all through. It is the only food there.
And mali ya kujisaidia ni wapi?
There is a latrine. In fact, it was designed in a manner. My cube is like adjacent to the latrine.
Okay.
There is another cube there, and then Bob is on the third cube. So now, for me, I can see the latrine. But for Bob, he has to go like this.
But does he see you?
He used to come sometimes. We learned how to see each other. Because you see, he used to come, he walks to my side and then goes to the latrine. Even me, when I go out to the latrine, I don't come straight. I move like this.
And you can shake his hand, you can see him.
No, I can't shake his hand. I can only see him. and he can whisper to me like 5-6 words and then goes. I remember when the passing of Raila Odinga happened, somebody came and whispered to me. And then another one also came and whispered to me. Because some soldiers, some askaris, because they consider me their fellow Luo. You have lost a Luo.
Oh, they are Nilots from the north.
Yeah, so they come and whisper to me that we have
the soldiers.
We have lost a very famous Luo. Raila is gone. I'm like, okay. Then again, Raila is gone. Then a third person who comes now is a rank soldier. Now he can stand there and talk to us. He's allowed to ask us a few questions.
Okay.
So he comes and tells me, by the way, I think you have lost a very famous person in Kenya. I'm not sure. We are confirming. For me, that was a third person talking to me about it. So it was a confirmation. I had to whisper it to Bob. Now, that is when things began to be a problem because Bob, when he heard me say, Mzaya ameukata, and then I showed him like this. He went fast and then he came back, wondering, what is Mzae and what do you mean? You know, that is moving, you are not supposed to move abruptly because those people can react. They have a gun on you. So they can just decide what is he trying to do. But he came back and he asked me, Mzae? I told him, yes, gone. Confirmed. He goes again, then comes back again after 1 minute. I don't know what he told that soldier. But he came back, and I'm like, oh my God, this guy is going to expose us into something. I told him it's confirmed. Then he went.
So you wake up in the morning, you are in your room the whole. I mean, that's really tough.
Your toilet, your urine you'd use. There's a latrine. Call it a latrine, improvised thing. It's a container that they've just cut. So that is what you use. But if you want to go for a long call, now you have to call them. I had a lot of problems when I was eating that food because after some few days I'm having stomach issues and I'm calling someone and they're taking an hour to turn up.
Really?
Yeah, it's wow. It's now you're like, okay, now what is going to happen?
Oh my God, that was
Yeah.
the day that. So what questions
And you
were
are
they?
in handcuffs throughout.
Throughout.
You are in handcuffs throughout.
You said that they gave you guys interviews for twice. What are the
Yeah.
questions that they were asking?
They started by asking us what is our business to Uganda. We told them we have come to do business and to meet friends and what have you. And they asked us, did you say that you are going to meet Bobby Wine? We said, yeah, no. If you are tourism also means the people in that place. I mean, I meet people if you come to Kenya, I wouldn't say that I'm going to meet my mother or my girlfriend. No, you don't say in the border.
Yeah.
So we told him that is, I mean, why would we say that you are going to meet so and so? So he says, no, but you should have said it's a political. I said, no, this was not political. We are not campaigning for him. We are not doing anything for him. So those are the questions they started asking, and then they started telling us, so where are you going to start this thing of the Gen Z? Yeah, we hear you want to do Gen Z here in Uganda. Where are you starting it? Is it in Kampala or Mbarara? Or where? We are like, no, now, you guy, man. What is this Gen Z you are talking about? You are the Gen Z leaders, you are the guys who we hear, you are the guys who are serious there, doing things, you brought money here, those kinds of stuff. So they're asking all those questions. And we are telling them, no, we don't have that kind of an arrangement. We have come here to do business, and we have come here to see the country, and we have also come here to meet friends. And it goes back and forth. Now, on the first discussion, that's the second day, they're just asking those questions. But on the second one, they even were beating us. They were putting us in a chain like this, and your head down there and whipping us. But now I think they were very careful not to put marks on us. I realized that it has to do with the question of Boniface Mwangi's issue, because there is now forensic people had started collecting. So they were knew that these are not Ugandans. This is going to blow up, and maybe we need to avoid being noted to have done those things. So on the second interview, they come with now our issues from our phones. Now they are looking at groups and asking me, this group who is the admin, I don't know. Some of them have been added into them. I don't even know. I don't even remember some of the groups.
Yeah.
And those are the canes they are now giving me. You are lying to us. What have you? That kind of stuff. After the second interview, they told me we are coming back. They never came back. In fact, now they disappeared. In fact, we ask you, where are these people? We are supposed to talk to them, so we go home. They're like, they'll come.
I want to come back to Wambua, because now you are in the fridge. Wambua is outside here. Wambua, how do you guys first of all hear that these guys are actually abducted?
First,
Kuja karibu na.
on their day of travel, I was to be mobilizing for voter registration as the coordinator. Because the very day of travel, I was in Wote, Emali, in Makueni County, along Mombasa Road. Then the following day, they updated their status while in Nakuru. I was following. For me, that following day, I was to go for a burial in Kangundo, Tala. Then, while addressing the mourners, my phone vibrated. I ignored because I was on mic. On sitting, picked up my phone. It was Kofi, now the survivor of the abduction. He had tried to reach out to me almost 8 times, but I was not picking. Then I texted him, "Hey, Kofi, are you okay?" He called. Bob and Oyoo abducted. That is what he said. Bob and Oyoo abducted. Nikamuuliza, uko wapi? Sijui. Nikamwambia nitumie pin of where you are. Then on his phone, even network was an issue. He went somewhere in a restaurant, requested for the password, their Wi-Fi. Then he was able to share with me the pin. I schooled in Uganda, Makerere. I have many friends. So I called a friend, gave the pin, went and picked him. And it's from then that we started looking for these 2 gentlemen. That very evening, I reached out to the family. They were already aware. I don't know how the information reached them. And the following morning, we sat, family, some activists, religious leaders, friends, prayed, and started now the long journey that took us 38 days to meet them again. Every day would be a confused day because you don't know where to start, whom to call first. And so many calls are on my side as the coordinator because Amnesty International is reaching out to get details about Bob. The family wants to know why they traveled, why I didn't travel with them. So Kenyans are wonderful people because they came out in numbers, especially the media. Let's give credit to it. It deserves because media played a big role to amplify this. We did interviews, we petitioned, we visited various government institutions and officers, especially the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, where we were turned down with promises and hopes, but no tangible information that could give us confidence of the coming back of our comrades, colleagues, friends.
When you, I imagine that there was a contact made at the Ugandan embassy, the High Commission, embassy in Uganda. What did they say? Did they say that they were looking for them? What exactly did they say?
The information we got was from the PS Singoe, Dr. Korir Singoe, that is working closely with this Kenyan High Commission in Uganda and the Ugandan government, and he assured us the gentlemen were okay. That is what he had assured us. And that was on the 3rd day of abduction.
He's already assuring you guys that the gentlemen are okay.
Are okay. Now they are okay, but we just we want to see a proof of life because now it's the 3rd day, 4th day. After 2 weeks, we come back. He gives us the same story. It came a point that.
So the Kenyan government had already established that you guys are at this military camp and you are fine.
We are convinced that is, and that's why we are telling you, this was not a matter of something that started from the blue. It was not a Ugandan thing. I mean, why would you, as Uganda government, feel that somebody like Oyoo and Bob is a threat to you?
Actually, I was surprised because the PS was like, I know Oyoo at personal level, I know Bob at personal level.
You were saying that?
So they are okay. Maybe you have had interaction before.
We've met them before. That is true. We've met them before when we were pushing this referendum, when they were now organizing to come into government, when they're still campaigning. We've met them. That is not a lie.
There were people that were supportive of the document.
Yeah, it was a good document. But I think they were
when not
feeling
in power,
threatened.
it's a good document. But when in power, it's not good. Because
It's a very people-centric document.
Sure.
Okay.
I think we'll come here and talk about that.
Yeah, we were planning to do that today, but I think today we'll just so that is what. So the 30th, the 31st, the 32nd day. What is going on?
On the, I think it was on 30th. The 30th day was on a Monday when we petitioned in the Speaker of the National Assembly to summon the CS Foreign Affairs and his office to come and explain to Kenyans not only about Bob and Oyoo, but about the whereabouts, the well-being of Kenyans out there, because there are the many issues had risen up. We saw Mudavadi in some funeral talking about guys being recruited to Russia as mercenaries. So people suffering in Saudi. So, and they were not mentioning our case here in Kampala. They are talking about, but they
Mercenaries in Russia.
they are trying to cover up this story. It's like they want it forgotten. So on petitioning on a Monday, I was told that this will be on the floor next Tuesday. This whole week, nothing will be happening. So it's on a Friday evening, not in the wee hours of Saturday morning, around 4 a.m., when I got a call that guys had Busia. Oyoo ako Busia. Like, now where do we start? What do we do?
Oyoo, what is happening? Can you take us through how you guys are taken out of the military camp?
So now we are transferred from that military camp, to a safe house. I don't want to call it safe house. I think you people need to look for something else. That's not a safe house. That's a torture house. So we are transferred to a house that is now we are not seeing in the military camp you could see the sun once in a while. I remember when they took me for interview and I told them that I want to sit in the sun because I don't get the sun. So they are like, you guy, bana, we want to talk to you here on the below the tree, but I'm like, no, me, I'm sitting under the sun. So in that place now, the toilets are in. So you cannot now get out. The food is being brought to you, and there's no.
This is now a proper apartment.
A proper apartment, and they were even telling me that Bob is not there, in that place. So somebody is telling me that I don't think your friend is here, and maybe they've even done something with him. I don't know, but he's not here. So there was a time that we started discussing. I'm with 3 people there. 2 people, sorry. So we are 3 of us.
These are abductees.
These are Ugandans. One of them speaks only Luganda. The other speaks Kiswahili, broken, Luganda, and also English.
Both prisoners.
Both Ugandans. They are not. They are abductees.
Okay.
Because they also just taken the way we've been taken. They don't even know what their cases are. One has been there for 3 months. One came when we came to the safe house. On that day we came. So it is now for us discussing that what we do, we make friends with these people. So we started asking somebody, how is the EPL going? Who is leading? Where is Arsenal playing today? Liverpool. They came and told us Liverpool is being whipped. And now we are making friends.
Okay.
So after some time, I told them that my name is Nicholas Oyoo. I'm from Kenya. And this guy told me that I think there was a message for you in the media by somebody called Isabella. I told him, first of all, I didn't get Isabella. What is Isabella? No. But then I realized Bob had a relation with somebody called Isabella. I didn't know it was a mother or who, but I thought the daughter was called Isabella. So I'm like, okay, you go and tell that to the other Kenyan who is there. And he went, and after 3 hours, he came back and told me, yeah, he got the message. He knows Isabella. I'm like, that confirms to me Bob is here. Because at that time...
Here means in this apartment?
In the same place. So it's
in the group of apartments.
It's an empty place that you can even hear echoes. When something falls, you hear echoes, and there are several rooms. You can hear the rooms being opened and locked and that kind of stuff. But you don't...
But it has coaches now?
No coaches. It's just empty. There's nothing. You're being given a mattress and you're sleeping there. And that is where you are going to be. They were there for 14 days. And then we were now taken out. Now, being taken out, they just came and told me, you put on your clothes and organize yourself. And I'm like, now with my colleagues, I'm like, now we are 3 of us. Become a close-knit group. So we are like...
But you're the only one leaving, not the other Ugandans.
The other Ugandans are not leaving. Somebody left and went to a hospital and came back and removed their tooth. And actually, they were saying, I'm keeping the tooth for my wife. When I get my wife, I'll show him the tooth. I show her the tooth. So this kind of thing. So we are just there, and then suddenly we are being told, you come. I'm not even sure we are leaving. This is the thing, Jagero. You're being taken out. It is either you are going... I think somebody said kusafirishwa. You may be safirishwad. You may be getting a transfer, or you may be getting released. So you don't even know what emotions you want, because this is a situation when you were being transferred, it was the same thing. You don't know if you are being removed to go and get done with, or you are going to be released. So you are in that situation. We prayed with them. When that guy went, we just held hands and prayed and said, okay, if I go out, these are the things you need to do for us, that kind of stuff. So now suddenly they come and they put us those hoods and they put us in a vehicle and we are driving out. So we are going, we don't know where we are going. After some time, that vehicle stopped somewhere and then they were transferring the vehicles. Now, that vehicle we left with was a D-Max, I think, or something like an SUV. And they put us in now another, those drones. And now they're saying this is the one that's taking you to Busia. Now they are confirming to us we are going to Busia. And still
you don't know whether you're with Bob?
We are with Bob at that time. We have been removed and we are with Bob. Every time they removed us from those places, I find Bob in the vehicle. Or sometimes we go together. In fact, when they removed us, we actually...
But how do you know? Because you've got something in your head. How do you know that?
No, first when they removed us, we didn't have that hood. He was removed from his room. That's when I realized he was next to me.
Oh, I see.
The room is next to me. The door is actually this door and the other door, the next door. But they remove him and we start asking, hey, you look different. You look old. He told me I look old. I told him, I'm not young.
Okay.
It's my hairdressers who know how to do. Yeah. So anyway, we get into the car. They take us now. We are hooded again all the way up to Kampala. There is a place, I think, a military depot. And then they announce that somebody, your boss is coming to see you. What boss? And then after some time, they say the ambassador is coming to see you. Now we have mixed emotions. We know that we are not in tight with the government. We're not sure if it is now going to get a lecture or what have you. I don't know. Then he comes and takes pictures with us and takes us to a convoy all the way to Busia.
This convoy, Kampala. what kind of vehicle?
He has 2 TXs. He has 2 Prados. And then there is a military vehicle in front. This is doing those
siren things.
And we are in our what do you call it? The drone. And this drone had about 8 people. And I think their plan was now to do some work with us. Basically, they were supposed to just put us on those hoods and probably touch us a bit as we go. Now they have been allowed to release us, but they want to enjoy that kind of stuff. Now, 5 minutes before the ambassador came, they removed those hood. And that is how we went all the way to Busia. And then, of course...
Why were you not putting the TXs?
I don't know. Maybe I didn't pay enough tax.
So you come to Busia, all the way to Busia, with the ambassador?
Yeah, with the ambassador. And we come all the way. They clear us in Busia. We had a red alert, so it was a process to clear us. I don't have my passport. It remained in the vehicle. The vehicle is still in Uganda even now. So
the vehicle is still in Uganda?
Yeah, we are trying to organize ourselves. We hope you people can...
This guy, how did he come? How did the Dito guy, what was his name?
Coffee.
How did Coffee come?
We came. Organized and he even crossed the border, but no, it didn't clear because we used friends.
Hey.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was risky, security-wise.
Understandable.
Yeah.
When you reach the border...
Now, they want to do something with us. They want to bring us to Nairobi. That is now at 4-5 there. So they are like now they are trying to get this PS and the CS for foreign affairs to authorize us to be taken with a vehicle to Nairobi.
Which vehicle now? You don't have a drone anymore.
Not a drone now. Now they are talking about a D-Max. We told them clearly we are not going into the cells. because they are telling us about security. We asked them, are we arrested? They said no, but we have to take care of your security. So we are saying, okay, we are not going to sit in a cell. The second thing we are not doing, we are not sitting in a Subaru, whatever kind of Subaru. We are not getting into a Subaru. So they,
because now you are fearing another abduction part 2 in Kenya.
yeah. Actually, we even thought we were very worried that we are being handed over to Kenya, and maybe it could be we are being handed over to the other groups of Kenya. So we are like, now, you know, there is also those emotions. It was very scary. But then now we go there and they tell us there's a DMAX they're organizing and escort. And then there's CSO people who have come. There's some of our colleagues who have come there. And now they're telling them that we are going to fly them. And you know the situation, if you try to drive these people through these roads, you may get into problems. So they are looking at it and they are realizing. And then there's intelligence that is coming that Busia people are actually mobilizing themselves to come and storm the police station. So they are like, now they need to do something. They eventually released us to our family and the CSO people, and that is how now we were airlifted to Nairobi. Otherwise, we were supposed to come to the office of the CS or the PS, and they say, you've been making a lot of noise, but here they are.
They wanted to hand you over to the Kenyans.
Yeah, no, they wanted to use us kungara na sisi. You know the way
that they have been working
us.
so
the
hard.
ones who have been working and
So hard to get you guys.
Yeah,
It's been and thank God you guys are safe in the country and continue with the Free Kenya movement.
Yeah, and we want to say, Jagero, that we have a pay bill.
Okay.
We are trying to even do those vehicles. We have an activity we want to do on the 10th. We are going to collect signatures. So anybody who wants to support us,
please you can say the pay bill number and the number that they should be able to contact if they have issues or they want to ask questions.
So the pay bill is 663-670. You put your name there, or if you don't want, you can say anonymous.
Okay.
We will not put your name out. But also, if you want to contact us, I'll give my number. My number is a public number. It's even in our documents.
Yes, I've seen it here.
0722 95 4770. Yeah, again 0722 95 4770. Pay bill again 663-670.
And those interested in knowing more about Free Kenya movement can visit our website, which is www.freekenya.co.ke. Yeah, you can also order your beret if you want to support the movement.
It looks amazing.
Yeah.
How much is it?
Our beret is just 1,000 bob. Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful. It looks like the one that the Ugandan used to walk around.
The problem you're having now, they have elections and it's the same beret. So now the price has gone up now.
The demand is so high in Uganda.
After January,
okay.
Normal services.
Mr. Wambua, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Mr. Oyoo, thank you very much for gracing DWJ.
Us.
Yeah.
We want to thank everybody, media, and all those people who made a lot of noise for us.
So, people of the internet, thank you very much. Please consider subscribing to DWJ on YouTube. Follow us on social media. And until another episode, bye for now.